Okay, so for the longest time, I'd listened to professional beats, mixed by professional producers, and I'd noticed that the drums sounded way different than anything that I was able to put together on Maschine. And I thought for the longest time it was because I was not buying the right stock drum sounds. I wasn't buying and spending enough money on drum libraries. And I eventually bought the drum libraries and nothing changed. And that was until I figured out that the differences in between the weightiness and the heaviness and the way that professional drums hit in beats that you listen to and your beats on Maschine, the difference is not the sounds that they buy, it's the techniques that they use in order to mix these drums to sound powerful. And today, I'm gonna show you the best, hands down, technique for you to understand how to make your stock drum sounds and turn them into something powerful, thick, and really hard hitting in your mix. And that technique is called New York compression or parallel compression. You may have heard it before, but I'm gonna show you how to do this a slightly different variation today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump on over to Maschine and I'm gonna show you how I turn regular stock drum sounds into professional sounding drum sounds in a matter of a minute using this technique called parallel compression. I'm gonna show you a quick example on Maschine. This is something you're gonna be able to add to your arsenal of techniques. It's gonna help you create more professional sounding beats on Maschine every single time you sit down and make a beat from now on, okay? My name is Rob. I'm the author of Maschine, the Hip Hop Beatmaker's Missing Manual. It's an awesome guide for you as a Maschine producer that's gonna teach you professional techniques just like this one in order to help you maximize the quality of your sound on Maschine and improve your technique and improve your skills on Maschine, all right? But more on that later. Let's jump on over to Maschine and I'm gonna show you how to do this parallel compression technique to drastically improve the quality of your drums on Maschine, all right? Let's go do it. Okay, so it's very simple and very straightforward. By using this parallel compression or New York compression technique that I'm about to show you, you can take an average drum sound and increase the quality by 10% or so. And across the context of an entire beat, techniques like this start to add up and they can greatly and dramatically improve your sound and turn, just regular drum sounds into thick and powerful drum sounds. Let me show you what I mean by that. So first of all, let me help you understand what parallel compression is so you do not get it confused. I know some of you have probably watched my video on drum layering and mixing on Maschine. But this concept is going to be a little bit different. What we're going to use is a more advanced concept on Maschine called send channels, okay, or buses. Send channels work a little bit differently than just, all right, let's see, I have my drum group right here. It's different than just going over to my drum group or my drum sound and just individually applying a compressor and an equalizer or something like that, all right? It's different than throwing it directly on the signal chain. I'm creating a duplicate channel and stacking it on top of the original sound, all right? Let me show you what I mean by that. Here's the visual. It is on the blog article version of this video that you're watching right now. If you're watching on YouTube, the blog is linked in the description so you can see this exact visual that I'm working with. But let's say, all right, this is the original sound, okay? This is our original kick drum right here. What we're doing is we're creating a separate, what's called a send channel, and we're applying a audio effect to the send channel. And the effect that has is this: instead of applying a compressor directly to our original channel, we're taking two different sounds. One, a compressed and EQ'd version, which we're going to set up. This is the New York compressed version down here, or the parallel compressed version, and our original dry sound. So we can buy a dry and a wet sound together, and it creates like it's an easy process for you to layer two distinct and different sounds in a very simple and quick fashion to really increase the sound quality, okay? It's different than applying it directly to the signal chain, all right? And I want you to keep that in mind as we're doing this. So think of it like doubling your sound or stacking your sound. It creates two different channels of sound and puts them together. A dry and untreated sound, or a wet sound, which is our compressed and EQ'd sound. And together they're layered on top of each other and they make them sort of like double fat, all right? So how do you implement this technique inside of your Maschine? All right, how do you utilize parallel compression or New York compression inside of your beat? I know it sounds complicated, but this really takes 2 seconds, and let me show you how to do it. So first I'm gonna let you listen to this drum sound, this drum kit that we've got. All right, what we're gonna do is basically create a send channel group. All right, so we're just gonna add another group. We're gonna call it send channels, label that. All right, let me spell it right. Send channels. And I'm gonna put this up top so that we can see it in the context of our beat. All right, so we have an entirely new group with nothing in it called send channels. So now what we're going to do is set up our send channel chain for parallel compression. And this involves two different plugins, all right? It involves a compressor and an EQ. The compressor goes first, typically, okay? So click on the plus button, go to internal, add the compressor, and then we're gonna click the next plus button, go to internal and add the EQ. We need to adjust the settings in order to get the effect that we need and want. So basically what this involves is really smashing the sound, all right? So what we're gonna do is simply turn the attack down really low and the release down really low. And what this is gonna do is gonna cut the initial transient off of the front of the drum sound and make the middle of the sound very fat, all right? Let me see really quickly to make sure I didn't miss anything. So we're gonna reduce these two. We're gonna leave the rest of the settings are fine the way that they are. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the low band and the high band of this EQ that's after the compressor. We're going to take this down to about, let's say 55 hertz, and we're going to boost it significantly. And we're going to take this down to, let's say right there, about 2000 hertz. And we're going to boost that significantly as well. And that's as simple as it is, all right? So just a few things, all right? We created a send channel. We threw on a compressor onto the sound level, and we threw on an EQ after that. And this is our parallel channel. All right, so now what we're gonna do is route our sounds to this parallel compression channel. And there's two ways that I can do this, all right, to get the effect that we're talking about. We can do it the first way, which is apply it directly to the kick drum. That makes it very simple, so you can hear the sound of that kick drum. And then we can throw on our parallel channel. It greatly changed our sound, all right? So let me listen to, this is what it sounds like untreated without the parallel compression. I'm turning down the volume all the way. This is what it sounds like with it. So make sure you turn it up a little bit so it doesn't get distorted. I forgot to tell you how to actually set this up, all right? So typically you'll see the menu that looks like this. You're on the sound level on the kick drum. You click this little dial on top right here. You click output, and select aux. Aux stands for auxiliary channel. You want to set up your send channel using this method. And then you're going to click this destination, and you're going to select parallel channel, okay? So select the sound that you want to parallel compress. Click this knob, I don't know the exact name of it, but click that. Select output, and then route your sound, all right? And you can do this for any number of send channels that you set up. You can do this with a reverb or a chorus or anything else. If you want more details on that, I've got an entire video on send channels and how to utilize those to improve your sound in different ways. Okay, so that's the first way to do it, is to apply it directly to the kick drum. You can also apply it to the entire group, all right? So this is typically the easiest way to do it, but you can fine tune your sound a little bit more if you apply it to individual sounds, all right? So I might apply this newer compression specifically to my kick drum and my 808. I might apply a transient master send channel, set up another sound in this send channel for a transient master effect and apply that just to my snares and my hi-hat. And then I might do a separate reverb send channel and apply that to my entire drum group. But I typically can apply this newer compression channel if you want to make it easier on yourself to the entire group of drum sounds. And it'll sort of thicken things up a little bit. So I'll let you pay attention to the sound and the timbre and the tone of the drums. I want to make sure that you pay attention to that. And I'm going to subtly increase this newer compression or parallel compression so that you can sort of hear the influence and the difference. All right, so this is increasing the wetness of it. So as you just heard, the tone is a little bit different. I noticed that it cut off some high mids, and it sort of subtly changed that and made the low end more fat and robust. So there's some ways that you can play around with this newer compression technique in order to make sure that you get the sound that you want. So just for the sake of this demonstration, I applied it directly to the drum group. But like I said, for more levels of control, it's more important that you apply it to the sound level, to a specific drum sound, and you sort of custom tailor different synth channels for specific sounds within your drum kit and for the rest of your project as well, okay? So like I said, I'll apply a New York compression and set that up specifically tailored to my kick drum sound. And then once I set that up, I'll go in here and manipulate the EQ and the compressor for this specific sound to get things to sound a little bit better than what they did before, all right? And the beauty of this also before we go is that you can save this New York compression. So let's say, all right, let's label this right now. We'll save this synth channel group by just right-clicking the group, pressing Save As, and then naming it whatever, NY Compression, inside of the Groups folder in Maschine. And now you have access to load this New York compression sound every single time you go to create a beat, okay? And it makes it very easy. It cuts down your workflow. It makes things so damn simple, you guys. So obviously you find learning nerdy techniques like this important. You know, you want to master Maschine's creative workflow. You want to improve your creative techniques. You're tired of being stuck on Maschine. You're tired of not understanding what you need to do to take your sound to the next level. Well, I've got a really unique opportunity for you today to progress your sound very quickly. So instead of searching around on YouTube for months on end, trying to find techniques like this to improve your sound, you know, only to be disappointed because YouTube sort of only ever offers you incomplete pieces of the puzzle and never the big picture, I want to hand you a beginning to end guide that you can use that serves as the big picture for you to learn the most important techniques for intermediate and advanced Maschine producers to improve their sound and take their knowledge and their technique on Maschine to the next level. I want you to grab a copy of my book. It's right here. It's called Maschine, the Hip Hop Beatmaker's Missing Manual. It's what I was talking about in the beginning. It is a in-depth 89-page guide that you can get that covers the more advanced topics on Maschine. All right, we talk about concepts like you just learned, teaching you about mixing using Maschine, how to use effects like Transient Master, how to use the filters on Maschine, how to use distortion, you know, everything, automation, things that are very in-depth and very advanced concepts for you to, like I said, take your sound from making C quality beats to B plus, A minus quality beats very quickly. All right, all you have to do to get your copy of this book is click the link in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on the blog, there will be a link below inside the text of the blog article itself. All right, guys, and I want you to know, I'm going to hook you up with a special deal today. Normally, this book is $49. All right, and even at that price, if you think about it, it's a steal. Because how much could you sell a beat license for if you were able to improve your beats? Okay, if you were able to create the type of beat that someone would be willing to pay you for, which has happened to tons of my students and myself, you know, a $49 beat license is nothing. So that covers the cost of this book. If you invest in this book and you sell one beat license for $50, you've already paid for the price of this book. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook you up with a very special deal today just because you're a part of my community now and I want to give you value. I'm letting you grab a copy of this book today for literally $1, okay? $1. No catch, no strings attached, no bag of tricks here, literally $1. And all you have to do is click the link in the description. When you click the link in the description, you're going to land upon a page that looks like this. It's going to explain a little bit more about what's inside of each chapter of the book and give you more information that you can use and hear from some of my students and what they've done. There's a short video as well. You can click this big yellow button to get your $1 copy of the book. And like I said, no catch, no hidden tricks, literally $1. Enter your name and your payment information, press the big green button at the bottom, and you'll be up and running with your copy of this book in no time, okay? A few minutes, you'll have the best guide in the world to be able to take your sound and your technique to the next level. But let me warn you though, do not wait to take advantage of this deal. Don't put it off until next week because I will raise the price of this book without notice. This is just a marketing test. This is something that I'm doing in order to see, you know, if I can get this, if people respond more to this price, then I might keep it at this price. However, obviously you can see I have bills to pay, I have things to do, financial obligations for the business side of what I do. And a dollar is really not that much, so I probably am going to raise the price in the future. Make sure that you get your copy for just $1 today. Grab your copy now so you don't have to pay, several times more in the future, okay? So again, my name is Rob. I appreciate you investing your time and watching this video. Click the subscribe button because I know you want to get more free, in-depth content about Maschine. This is not like other channels where I'm covering the baby stuff. This is the beginner, this is the intermediate and advanced concepts in Maschine to really take your sound to the next level. The difference is I post every day. I'm giving you in-depth content and things that you can utilize in order to improve your sound on Maschine. Go ahead when you're done as well, after you get your copy of the book, watch one of my other videos in the description. There's a lot of other great content. I specifically recommend that you watch the video on Send channels to solidify your knowledge in what we just talked about and learn a little bit more, all right? Appreciate you investing your time. I'll talk to you later. Peace.